Welcome back to the Evansville Otters pregame show. I'm Mike Radomski. It's time now for the player's perspective as we're joined by Ryan Smyth, the catcher for the Otters. And Ryan, you got your first professional hit on Wednesday night. What were the emotions like when you did get that first professional hit?
Oh, Mike, it was great. I had a lot of pressure to get that first hit and wasn't very successful in my first couple at-bats, but I got a pitch I could hit. When I saw it go over the shortstop's head and knew it was going to fall in for a hit, it was a big relief.
And up to that point, you were 0 for your first 10. What started to make you just stay calm and know that it would eventually come at some point?
Just knowing myself as a hitter, staying patient, knowing that, you're not going to get a hit every time up at bat, working with Coach Jones at the time, working opposite field, knowing how people pitch in this league, and just pretty much staying confident with myself, knowing that eventually in time it'll come.
Now, usually when you do get your first professional hit or any milestone hit, the baseball is saved. You have a funny story behind your first pro hit. What happened to that baseball?
Yeah, well, the ball came in, I saw the umpires call timeout, and I knew the ball was being saved. And I guess a couple of guys on the bench at the time, Billy had the night off. I guess he got the ball, and they signed first professional hit. They marked the date wrong, and they also spelt my name completely wrong. It was just a good little joke, keep it at ease, because apparently it's taken a long time to get that first hit. So it was a good little laugh in the locker room, but I ended up with the right ball.
And you said they said the date was wrong, the name was wrong. What exactly were they writing on in there?
I think they wrote a little bit of everything on it, but they wrote my dad's first name, which is Brian, and they butchered my last name, which most people do. They threw an E at the end, they threw an I instead of a Y, but overall, it was a good joke. Got a couple laughs.
And you mentioned your dad. Your mom and dad were actually here watching that game and watching your first professional hit. What did it feel like having them in the ballpark there with you?
It was awesome. I mean, they've come to so many of my games throughout college and even dating back to high school and Little League and so on. And to have them here was a great moment for them to share with me as I got my first professional hit. My mom joked around saying, she knew I was waiting until they came out here, and I knew they were going to be at the game since that was their first game. But it was a good moment.
Ryan Smyth joining us here on the Evansville Otters pregame show. You actually tried out with the Otters, went to that camp. What did it feel like trying out for a job and eventually getting that position?
Well, when I came out here, I drove out here with a friend of mine. We came out. It was an 11-hour drive, which was as long as it was. We got in early in the morning and kind of actually stayed in the hotel lobby of a hotel that we were checking in the next day. Kind of just killed time. And to be honest with you, I got out here that day, and it was a hot day, and I was not used to this humidity, and that was a shocker at first. But I had a good tryout. I felt confident. There were a lot of guys here, a lot of good players. I had a good day at the plate, caught very well, and, it was, I guess it's a judgment call when you need somebody. I guess that's just how it works. People get released and stuff like that, and I guess they were in need of a catcher and a hitter, and, just right place at the right time.
How about the phone call? It starts ringing on your phone. You understand, you're hearing the words, but are they sinking in that you did make the Evansville Otters?
Well, actually, at first, I normally don't pick up phone calls when I don't have the caller ID on my cell phone. I normally let it go to voicemail, but I was actually waiting for a phone call from a friend that I didn't have his number that morning, and I picked up, and the first thing Chick said to me was, how quick can you come to Indiana? And right away, at first I was like, what's going on? And then it hit, and I was like, oh my God, because it was about 10 days later after the tryout, and I kind of just started pacing around the house and stuff and couldn't believe it. I finally got a shot, and and it was just very exciting that day.
And if you think about it, how has your start in the Evansville system been so far? Because you do have some amount of time, about a month, since you were at the tryout and are now on the team.
I've gotten used to the style of the game. Obviously, coming straight from college, the professional ball is obviously a lot different. There's a lot more downtime, relaxed time. You can get a lot more work in. There's always people around to help you out. And just talking with the guys and stuff like that who've made it a lot easier for me to make that transition. It's been very exciting.
Now, you've had a chance to play for 3 managers, an odd scenario so far, but you've been with Wayne Krenchicki, you've been with Bill McCune, and now you have Andy McCauley. What does the new manager bring to the table?
He brings passion. You know, he's said all the right things so far. I really, you know, unfortunately we got rained out the other night, so we didn't get to see his coaching style yet, but everything he said so far and, you know, what he shows, his knowledge of the game seems to be, you know, outstanding, and he's been very successful in other independent leagues that he's been in, so hopefully this could be the start of the new season for us.
All right, Ryan, thanks again for joining us, and best of luck the rest of the season.
Thanks a lot, Mike.
That was the Evansville Otters catcher Ryan Smyth, and we'll be right back on the Otters pregame show right after this.